got about 147 photographs, and that is 3.87 GB. This is totally raw files. One file size is closer to
maybe 25, 20
yeah, 20
MB.
20 MB, 30 MB. That's the normal size of a photograph. If it is
raw file.
yeah, raw file.
This Photoshop,
No, this is all JPG, I think.
excuse me, sir. This Photoshop editing is available from CD.
No.
Only
It's also
software.
Cloud is cloud. You can download it online. So you see, this is NEF, Nikon's electronic format, or something they call it. So it's 26 MB. So if you try to import, about 400-500 pictures in a event, that will consume the entire space that you have. You need to definitely have separate data center to manage all these documents. I have closer to around 10 to 12 TBs of both backups.
We have external.
Yeah, external. So you need to maintain that when you do professional stuff. So when you go here, so once you import, you will choose the photos that you want to edit. To edit, you need to go to develop. Okay. When you go to develop, again you have the navigator, which I have already explained. And when you come down, you will find something called presets. Well, what is presets? Presets are actually you can also download them from online, and it's like a filter. You know, like you're editing. You instead of relying on others' presets, you can download from them online and use it. But again, you can create your own presets. You see, if you try to apply them, it automatically changes the color. You see. Like you can apply this automatically, it does the adjustments. See this? So it's presets. So if you want to get presets, what you have to do is you can find free like Lightroom presets, we call it. So there are plenty of websites which offers this kind of stuff. So what is preset? Preset is it's edited files that are packaged into what do you call, like a filter, where you can bring them and you can apply it. For example, if you want to insert a preset, just go to press this plus button here and import a preset from wherever the file that you downloaded. But you need to go and select that file and just hit import. That will be here. And after editing your file, and if you like what you did, and if you want to save that, you also can go select this one and say create preset, and you can put a name to it and create a preset. These are all presets that are created by me. So it's a user preset. Okay. Also, Adobe like Lightroom itself gives you different types of presets as well. You see. See. This is one of the presets that I have imported. So it completely changes the colors and stuff, and it does a nice editing as well. Okay, so see this one. So that's before and after. In one click, it does. But is it good to use presets? Well, at the early stage, maybe you can try presets, but don't get addicted to it, because it's you are the photographer, you are the artist, and it's your vision. Like you draw something, you put your time in drawing something, and you invite someone to come and color it. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, because your vision needs to be there, because you are the one who witnessed that moment. You saw the colors, how the moment was, and you got to know. So I have a practice when I take photograph. As soon as I get home, however much I'm tired, I will immediately do the editing. The practice that I have is because when I see a moment, I remember that moment, how the colors were, how the lighting and everything was there. And then I immediately, when I come home, I edit it so that I bring out the real live vision that I saw there into my photograph. If you try to take photographs and if you come back and if you wait for days to edit, sometimes you might not bring the actual output you want. It's not wrong, but if you want something what you saw to be there in the photograph, do the editing flows in the same way. That's better. Okay. So this is preset. Okay, and then something you have called history here. So whatever the things from the moment you import the photo that you are doing is been recorded as history. So if you want to go back to something, you can always go back up and down here. Okay. Now, now this is done. Now move on to the most important part here in the right hand side. When you come, you will find something called histogram. Well, what is histogram? Is this. Like you can try anything, okay? If something goes wrong, you can always hit reset and it will bring to the original file where you started. So nothing to worry about, you can do and play around. Now when you see this photograph, in this you see something called some waves and stuff going on here. What is this is actually, what you see here is called, the waves are, it's blacks, the shadows, the exposure, the brightness, the highlights, and the whites in this photograph. So what does it mean? It is basically, in a photograph, we use settings, right? You see here, this shows what was the settings that were used. ISO was 1600 and it's 50mm lens, and 6.3 was the aperture, and shutter speed was 1/400 of a second. Okay. Now these waves that are here is reflecting how the light has been spread, and if you try to do adjustments here, see the values will start changing. It is like how you see the stocks going up and down. When you play around with this, you will get the best exposure. So they say when you edit, if you look into this, the proper exposure will be like a mountain in the center. Okay, for like example, now you see here now originally if you see this has some issues with shadows. Shadows needs to be fixed, and overall it is looking okay, but there's some peaks in the highlights also. If you see this area has more light, so all these things are here which you can play around, but you don't know basically what these things are about. For example, now I'll move into this editing flow and I'll explain you this in a bit. Now when you come inside, first thing you will see here this is called edit. This is where you edit your photograph. Next step you have something called crop overlay. Okay, here's where you crop an image. If you want to crop something, you can crop it here. See, example like enter, it crops the image. Okay, these are like very basic. Even in your mobile phones, you have this kind of features. Okay, so this is crop. This is called the cloning tool or the heal tool, which I will explain you in a bit. So example, if you want to, like example, let's say, if you want to see overall this shot looks sharp in the image. When I try to zoom it in, this was done by one of my students, so I imported everything to show. See, like it's not sharp enough. The details are not sharp enough. You see here, the edges are very blurry. Okay, in this one, when you take this tool, like example, let's say if there's something like pimples or something that you want to get rid of, you can just select that area and you can say remove. With the help of AI and stuff, it removes that. See, it removed it. By the way, these softwares are a little heavy, and you got to have a good computer as well. I have a good computer. It's a little old, but I have high memory performance and stuff. Still, it's a little slow.
Speaking of computer laptops, what is the specs do you need to buy laptop for using for this?
Any gaming laptops are good, or else Mac computers. Mac is good. Like M3 and above is good, and M3 and above. If you don't have the luxury to go for what you call Mac, buy there something called Mac Mini. It's a small box like this. It's a desktop computer, Mac Mini. It's just a small unit like this. You got to have an external what you call monitor, and you can buy this for about 2,500 riyals, and it's very powerful. I'm using this one actually. With a separate 2,500 with all keyboards, monitor, and everything, it will be around 3,000, 3,200, which is a very powerful computing system we have. Yeah, and so they have M4, M5 now. It's very cheap as well.
Apple.
Classic. You see LRC. In this logo, you will see LRC, Lightroom Classic. You see this logo here. So Lightroom is different. Lightroom Light version is different. Lightroom Classic is different. So mostly professional they use Lightroom. So who's this for? Especially when you talk about Lightroom. Lightroom is for people who work in bulk quantity of photograph, like sports photographers, wedding photographers, event photographers. When you take photos in bulk, you can use Lightroom. Like if you are like a person who does what do you call, like building architectural, fashion shoots, like product photography and stuff. Ideally, Photoshop is the best tool where you have a lot of options where you can work around. Now, if you want to choose Lightroom, this is how you use this. When you come here, when you plug your memory card into the computer, automatically, if you have raw files and stuff, it will automatically give you a pop-up screen saying that to import the files. Now you have to know that memory card is an external drive. It's not connected, attached to the computer. So what you have to do is, if you want to edit photograph, first you need to import the photograph into the computer. Am I too fast in talking? If you are not able to understand, stop me. Yeah? You can ask me questions, please. So if you want to import, so you got to first go here, import photos and videos. Okay, when you hit that, it's gonna give you a screen like this. And then you will find, if your memory card is plugged here, you will find the folders here. For example, if you select this. So when I select this file, it is going to show all the photographs here. See?
This is from the memory card.
No, this is not the memory card, I'm just showing it from my computer. Okay. If you plug your memory card, I have my C drive, I have my D drive, and below that you will see the F drive, which is your memory card. So you just need to click that, and if you just hit import, hit the select the photographs that you want. Before you import a photograph, double click on this. And
so this is not Photoshop.
This is Lightroom.
These are Lightroom.
Lightroom. Yes. So you got to just first go and see the photograph, and then whatever is good, just select that photograph. Like you select and hit import, and then it's going to import like this here. Okay. And then what you can do is, once you import, we'll just try to familiarize some of the areas here. Here you see the first thing that you see on the top left. This is called the navigator. What is navigator? Now this image is a large image, so you got to see if it is sharp or not. See, to check this if it is sharp or not, you have to do this. So what I do, I basically, to make sure that the image is good enough to edit, I don't just go and look overall like this. I go inch by inch. For example, I'll zoom in here, and then I'll move around to see if everything is in detail. You see, I don't just overall like I don't look into a photo like this alone. Sometimes when you look like this, it will be good, but if you try to zoom, that's the time you will see the issues around the photograph. So when you do that, you see, now to keep moving this, it's annoying. You need to keep clicking and pressing. Here, inside this, it's very easy. It's just moving around. You see, wherever you want, you can just easily move around and see. That's what the navigator is all about. Here you can zoom around to whatever the sizes you want. You can go up to 1,600 times. So it's not required. Around 100 to 200% is always more than enough to do. So that's something you need to know. Okay. Say example, if I want to see something, this is 300 times. So I will go into around 200 times. Ideally 100% is more than enough. Yeah, so see, so it will show if it is good or bad. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is that you need to know is called the folders. This is where you organize your folders. For example, if those who have a camera, you are planning to buy a camera, the first thing that you need to do is when you buy a camera, set your date and time correctly. So when you import photographs, that metadata that you set there will import here and automatically create folders. So it's easy for us to maintain folders. You see, all my sports work that I do, it is here in organized way. So for example, if a client comes and say tomorrow, can you give me those photographs of this event? I may not remember because I do a lot of events. So I will ask for the dates. So if they give me the dates, it's easy for me to find those date information by date. You see. So that's something you need to know. Okay, and then you come to the there's a lot of things I don't want to go because most of the things you may not use here. The most important thing is the navigator here and the folder to organize your photograph. And then when you come to the left hand side, right hand side, the top, you're going to find something called the histogram, which is when I go into develop, I will explain in more details. Okay, now when you come into develop, right now what you have done is you have imported the photo from memory card into the computer. So what happens is when you right click here, it says here show in explore. So the imported files will be brought into your computer. See this? This is the entire photograph that you took in the listing is being imported inside the computer. Now you see what is happening if I try to go here and right click and try to check the properties here. It is about 3.7 GB worth file. Okay. So this is also I shot this photograph when I do sports photography. I shoot in JPG only. I don't shoot in RAW. If it is raw files, the file size is going to be very high. I'll show you another solid example of that. You can go to students and teachers package. You see 400 rupees. In this, you get all the softwares from Adobe. You will get the video editing software, photo editing, as well as Acrobat Reader and everything. And if you buy this, it's very good. For 1 year, you pay 400 rupees only.
Wow.
See, individual software, they cost you this amount. See, 1,400 rupees. Select this, and maybe you can put an Indian school, and they don't care much about this. You can get it, and I have asked a lot of my students have tried it, and it works for them. So now they are running this offer for 400 rupees. If you just pay for this, for annually you will pay what? So annually you will pay 4,800 rupees, which is 4,800 rupees divided by 23 is around 200 riyals you are paying for 1 year. Okay, so 1 year divided by 12 means just 17 riyals per month. Just go at one time and put your bank card and purchase it for 1 year.
It's safe. It's safe.
Of course it is. Adobe is one of the largest.
No, I mean to save your site.
Yeah, this site is Adobe's site. That's no problem. I have around 3 to 4 accounts, so I've been using it no problem. So it's official website you are buying. There are people who sell enterprises versions. They buy in bulk. Sometimes it gives you problems as well. So here you get everything. Like get 20 plus software, and it's really good for this price. Okay. So if you want to buy, maybe I can help you out in the next class. I'm not sure until the next class if this price will remain. If it remains, you can buy it, and I can help you out getting this in the next class. Okay. So now let's move on to see what is this. Now when you talk about Lightroom, Lightroom's got 2 versions. Here you see it says LR. Okay, there is something called